What do most people think about when they hear the name Captain James Cook? They think of his discovery of the Hawaiian Islands. But did you know Captain James Cook had a huge impact on Washington state history?
Really?
Yes, really. Here's how it all started. Captain James Cook was born on October 27th, 1728, in Marton, North Yorkshire, which is a part of England. I imagine he looked a little like this. As a teenager, Cook did farm work with his father, but his love was always to sail the seas. When he was 18, Cook was offered to be an apprentice on a ship by a Quaker ship owner in a small seaside village near Whitby, England. That gave him the training to later join the British Navy. In 1768, James Cook, now Lieutenant James Cook, was given command of the boat Endeavour by England's Royal Society. On August 26, 1768, Cook started his first expedition. He visited Tahiti, the Society Islands, and New Zealand. While visiting these places, he mapped out two main islands of New Zealand. Captain Cook returned from his first expedition sometime in July 1771.
1 month later.
Captain Cook was offered to go on a second expedition, but it was a year later when he actually started his journey in 1772. For the first stop, he visited the east coast of Australia. James and his crew saw many different animals and plants for the first time, like the kangaroo, a variety of native Australian birds, and a koala bear. Tragically, while in Australia, over 30 people in Cook's crew died of malaria from mosquitoes. During this time in history, many scientists believed that there was a fabled southern continent. Cook wanted to either prove that it exists or it did not. He sailed below 70 degrees latitude on this expedition, which is further south than any European had ever explored up to that point in time. He came back home from his second expedition in 1775 without any luck finding this fabled continent. Cook went on his third and final expedition in 1776. Even though Cook had already retired, he was asked to go to the Pacific Northwest in search of a possible passageway that connected the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. On this expedition, he went from England to Asia, discovered the Hawaiian Islands, and then to the Pacific Northwest. As he was looking for a harbor, he saw a small opening which he named Cape Flattery. However, the low land caused the ships to turn away and sail on to the Nootka Sound. At this time in history, Spanish explorers claimed to own the entire Pacific Ocean and shores from Mexico to Alaska, including the Pacific Northwest.
What? No way! They can't do that!
But there was no evidence for claiming the entire Pacific Ocean. The Spanish government sent Hezeda and Quadra, two Spanish explorers, to stake their claim because of Cook's focus on the Pacific Northwest. Captain Cook had discovered Nootka Sound. The Nootka Sound is on the west coast of Vancouver Island, a beautiful spot for whale watching, I might add. Cook explored the sound for 1 month before he decided that the passageway did not exist, and then continued north, exploring and mapping the coast of Russian America, which is now Alaska, until it got too cold and the ice turned him back. Back in Nootka Sound, Cook and his crew traded for sea otter furs with the Nootka Indians. Once Cook and his crew returned home, many people wanted the sea otter furs for themselves. They loved them. Because of this interest in the furs, more and more explorers ventured to the Pacific Northwest, and thus began the long, booming trade history.
Oh, now I get it. I had no idea.
It was on Captain Cook's third expedition when Cook reached the Hawaiian Islands. The Hawaiians treated them like gods. When their relationship with the Hawaiians started to go bad, Cook decided to return to England, but a storm damaged their ships and were forced to return to Hawaii after 1 week. While there, one of the ship's boats had been stolen.
That's not cool.
Cook and 9 other members of his crew made a plan to capture the thief, Kalaniʻapuʻu. I said Apu'u. They wanted to hold him hostage until their boat was returned. The attempt failed. They got into a fight with the Hawaiians.
Go, Cook! Go, Cook! Go, Cook! Go!
One man from Cook's crew immediately fell on the deck of the ship. His arm is over there, and his leg is over there.
Man down! Man down!
Another man fell, arrow in the head.
Aw, nuts!
One struck below the eye. Captain Cook told everyone not to fire. Stop the fight! Stop the fight! And right at that moment, Captain James Cook was stabbed in the back with an arrow and landed face down in the ocean.
No!
Captain Cook's crew that survived the fight made it back into England and told the news to the town. Everyone was devastated. Cook was then buried in Kealakekua Bay in Hawaii in 1779. Thus ended the life of a great explorer, Captain James Cook.